Naruto, now the mythical 11-tailed beast, unleashed in overwhelming fury. The surrounding landscape vanished in pure chakra. His sacrifice rewrote history. But how did we get to this insanity? Konoha was in ruins, collapsed buildings, black smoke covering the sky. Boruto lay motionless on the ground. Death awaited him. An unknown enemy, a being from another plane, towered over him. Its claws dripped with the young ninja's blood and promised the end of everything. The air trembled with its dark power, and hope seemed to slip away. Naruto felt his heart sink, an icy pain consuming him. Boruto, his son, was dying in his arms. The sight tore at his soul, and then an ultimatum invaded his mind. There was a prophecy of forbidden power, a sacrifice that would transform the host into something more, an uncontrollable force. He knew the price and the consequence, but he had no choice. His eyes, once full of despair, now burned with resolve. "I won't lose you," he whispered to Boruto, his voice heavy with a deadly promise. He would do anything. An ancient seal, forgotten for ages, glowed on his skin. Violet chakra began to erupt, an overwhelming aura that cracked the ground. The pain was unbearable, but he embraced it. His body contorted, bones cracked, and then the first tail manifested. Then the second, the third, a terrifying succession of raw power. The screams of pain turned into roars. The enemy recoiled, startled. 9 tails emerged, then 10. The limit had been broken, the legend becoming reality. What would come next? Not even the sages knew. And then, the 11th tail rose, a pillar of dark chakra. Naruto no longer existed, only the 11-tailed beast, and its fury was about to be unleashed. The 11th tail pulsed, dark and gigantic, and then Naruto, now the 11-tailed beast, unleashed all its fury. The air vibrated with power, the ground trembled under the pressure, and you wonder, what's left of the hero of Konoha inside this monstrosity? The beast charged, a mass of muscles and chakra in pure destruction. The enemy, once arrogant, now shivered in terror at what had awakened. With a single deafening roar, the attack was launched, the being from another plane crushed, pulverized into nothing more than cosmic dust, leaving no trace. An overwhelming victory. But the fury didn't stop there, and you felt that this victory had a bitter taste, a price too high to pay, and Naruto was still not safe. The purple aura of the 11th tail vibrated with chaotic energy, and you realized that the beast's body began to writhe, its muscles trembling. A muffled, desperate scream echoed in his mind. Naruto's consciousness slipping away, being replaced by a primal, savage instinct. The beast chakra not only defeated but now drained the life around it, sucking the very vitality from the environment. Boruto, still wounded on the ground, began to weaken even more. Then, a chill ran down your spine as the beast's empty eyes fixed not on the enemy's remains, but on Boruto. The savior had become the ultimate threat. A distant whisper, almost inaudible, "Run, Boruto!" tried to emerge from Naruto, but the beast claw was already rising, ready to attack its own son. It's the end of everything. But in this critical instant, the massive chakra began to tear the beast's own body, fissures of light and raw flesh opening, revealing Naruto's blood. The power was too much. The massive chakra began to tear the beast's own body, fissures of light and raw flesh opening, revealing Naruto's blood. The power was too much, and you felt his body falling apart. A drawn-out, guttural scream escaped the beast, more human than monster, an agonizing struggle between consciousness and the overwhelming force consuming him. Naruto was saying goodbye. The 11th tail, once a pillar of dark power, began to flicker and shrink, the purple chakra diminishing, revealing Naruto's weakened and devastated body within. He felt his knees, gasping, blood streaming from every pore, but his eyes, though blurry, fixed on Boruto, a flash of recognition and despair. He was coming back, but you felt a chill down your spine because the being from another plane, pulverized seconds earlier, was not dead. A dark smoke, almost invisible, began to reform, growing denser. The creature reborn from the ashes, an even more monstrous form with eyes that glowed a blood red, stronger, faster, with a palpable aura of hatred. It ignored the weakened Naruto and lunged like lightning. Its sharp claws aimed at Boruto, who lay motionless and vulnerable. You saw time slow down. Boruto felt the shadow of death upon him, the cold air cutting his skin, unable to react to the inevitable attack. Hope faded. Naruto, seeing his son on the brink of the abyss, gathered his last strength, an iron determination taking over his face. "I won't let this happen," he roared. With a breath that seemed his last, Naruto invoked a seal, something ancient and forbidden, that made his body glow with golden energy. The Kyuubi's chakra. The enemy froze for an instant, feeling a power that wasn't from the 11 tails, but from something more ancestral. Naruto's new and final gambit. Naruto lunged at the enemy, eyes fixed, an unthinkable decision in his gaze as the golden glow expanded, about to envelop them both in an explosion of power. The golden glow of the explosion blinded everyone, but the pain of Naruto's loss would burn forever. How could the hero of Konoha, now a pure sacrifice, annihilate the threat and seal the fate of his legacy in a single instant? The answer lay in that glow that consumed everything, an end no one expected. Naruto, covered in a golden chakra cloak, charged without hesitation, an unstoppable force driven by unconditional love for his son. His blue eyes, once full of mischief and hope, now reflected a fierce resolve, the soul of a father willing to do anything for salvation. You felt the weight of that decision, a choice that would change the world. The enemy, caught off guard by the new and unknown power, tried to retreat in desperation, but the golden aura already enveloped it completely. It trapped it in a dome of energy that pulsed with overwhelming heat. A cry of fury and despair escaped its demonic throat. The creature thrashed frantically, but it was too late to escape. "This is for Konoha and for Boruto," Naruto whispered with a choked voice, and you felt the ground tremble beneath your feet as the golden chakra tightened its grip on the enemy, intensifying the pressure. The Kyuubi's power, concentrated into a single point of massive energy, reached its ultimate peak. An inevitable explosion approached, and the air grew heavy, almost unbreathable, foreshadowing the end. Boruto, on the ground, felt an overwhelming wave of heat sweep over his injured body, and, even with no strength left, managed to lift his head slightly. His eyes, blurred by excruciating pain, saw the golden light consume his father and the enemy at the same time. It was a harrowing flash of memory that would haunt him forever, a pure and definitive sacrifice. The explosion roared with the force of 1,000 thunderclaps, engulfing everything and everyone around it, and reality itself seemed to distort for an instant of chaos. A massive shockwave swept across the ruined landscape, toppling what remained of the structures and raising a thick cloud of golden dust that completely blinded the view of anyone watching. As the dust slowly began to settle, an abyssal silence fell over the devastated battlefield, which was once a village. Where the creature and the hero Naruto once stood, now there was only a smoking crater and an unsettling void that cried out for answers. You felt a chill down your spine. The absence was tangible and icy, weighing heavily in the air. Boruto, trying to crawl closer, called Dad, his voice a barely audible thread, filled with pure hopelessness, but there was no response. Only the distant echo of the explosion resonated in his mind, repeating the image of that golden light, taking everything, including his father, to an end he couldn't comprehend, which seemed unreal. Then, a faint, almost imperceptible glow emerged from the center of the crater, a spark of golden chakra floating in the air. It seemed to call to you, drawing your attention. Was it a hope for the future, a remnant of something important, or just the end of everything we know, a last goodbye without words? The golden glow floated for another instant, and you felt an inevitable pull, as if Naruto's very legacy was there, waiting to be discovered. Boruto, with a supernatural effort of will, reached out towards the light, a silent prayer on his lips, asking for a miracle, a sign of life, anything. But the light dissolved into vibrant particles, like golden sand between his fingers, and then an ancient and mysterious scroll, completely intact, emerged from the ether. It landed gently in the smoking crater, at the exact spot where the explosion had happened, a plot twist no one could predict. The ancient and mysterious scroll landed softly in the smoking crater, and Boruto felt his heart race. What did it mean? His aching body dragged itself with a strength he didn't know he had, his eyes fixed on that object, the only trace left behind by his father's overwhelming explosion. You felt a glimmer of hope. The scroll seemed untouched, its yellowed, worn edges contrasting with the devastation around it, a surprising link between past and present. It was Naruto's last message. Boruto reached out a trembling hand, the air still thick with the golden dust of the explosion, and his fingers found the ancient paper. A gentle and warm energy emanated from it, calming his wounded soul. Upon opening it, there was no forbidden jutsu or treasure map. Inside, a simple blood seal, the Uzumaki family seal, and a short message, hastily written, but in Naruto's familiar handwriting. Boruto, this isn't a farewell, but a new beginning. I gave you a chance to build, not to inherit. True power is within you, in your own journey, in your own era. You felt the weight of the words, the depth of the sacrifice. Naruto not only eliminated the enemy, but also forced Boruto to forge his own path, away from the Hokage's overwhelming shadow. That was the prophecy Naruto had spoken of, not a power for himself, but a chance for his son. He gave his life so that Boruto would not live shackled to the past, but free for the future. A warm tear rolled down Boruto's face, but it wasn't just sadness. It was a tear of understanding and a new, burning determination. He raised his head, his eyes now filled with resolve. The void left by the 7th Hokage's death was immense. But there, in the center of the crater, the seed of a new era was born, led by a Boruto who finally understood his destiny. He kept the scroll, his father's legacy, and stood up, ready to face Konoha's future. Naruto's era had ended, and his own was just beginning. If you felt the emotion of this farewell and the power of this new journey, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. There are many more epic stories waiting for you here on the channel. See you there.